Welcome back to the dojo, y'all. Glad you can make it. Glad you could join me. The topic that I want to talk about today, the topic of discussion, is the narrow path. Yes, the narrow path. Hawk Sensei, what's the narrow path? I got you. The narrow path is the path that not many wish to take because it's a difficult path. The wide path that you see everyone traveling down, the way that most people go, the easy way out, quote unquote, that's usually the road that leads to hell, the road that leads to destruction, the road that leads to oblivion, right? And the reason why I'm talking about this, I'm really highlighting this, is because there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about the narrow path. And for your convenience, right, I actually picked this scripture out and I have it here, right here with me. Give me a second. I'll break it down for you. It says, the narrow path in the Bible is referenced in Matthew chapter 7, verse 13, 14, which states, enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and there are many who enter through it. For the gate is small and the way is narrow that leads to life, and there are few who find it. Few who find it. What does that mean? That means that the path to destruction is an easy path. Everybody's doing it. It's easy that way. You know what to expect. You see everybody going that way, so you're like, hey, well, shit. I might as well go that way. But no. The narrow path is the road less traveled. Most people may not know what obstacles or opposition you may come across on the narrow path. The narrow path is the path that's stressful, the path that takes time, the path that requires growth and development, the path that requires the most, if not all, of you. And that path, more often than not, is a path that is cut out specifically for you. Especially when you're the first person to do something. That's the narrow path. But see, that path is equated to the tree of life. The tree of life, that's another scripture in the Bible. This isn't Bible study, but I just wanted to highlight this scripture and the importance of the narrow path. Right? If you see everybody doing this and everybody doing that, that's a telltale sign that you probably don't need to be doing it. Because that's probably not your designated path. And what you mean designated path? I don't believe in fate. You don't have to believe in fate. But each one of us has a specific purpose on this earth. You can't tell me that that's not true. We all have gifts and callings. We all are good at some things and could use work and help in other areas. But ultimately, we all have a purpose. And there is a plan for all of our lives. Even if you don't see it, even if you don't choose your path, there's a path that's cut out for you if you don't want to choose your path. The world will guide you down it. You don't even have to really do anything but allow the world and other people to influence you to go this way or that way. Before you know it, you'll be wrapped up in the winds of destruction. You won't know where you're at. Right? But taking it a step further, with the narrow path, right? people will try to deter you and even intimidate you from taking the narrow path. Oh, you'll never make it. That ain't for you. Bro, that's too hard, man. Take the easy way out. Take the shortcut. I told y'all about the easy way out, and I told y'all about them shortcuts. Here to be. Go ahead and watch way back when in the daily discussions in the earlier parts. You know what I mean? I'm getting sick of this boy. See, like, the reason why I want you to take your own path, the narrow path, is because what's waiting for you at the end of the narrow path is everything that you will ever need. Everything that's meant for you. All of your rewards and accolades, prestige, whatever, is waiting for you at the end of the narrow path. What's waiting for you at the end of the wide path, the easy path, the road that everybody's going down, is nothing but destruction, nothing but oblivion. Nothing but you losing yourself within the influence of the world. That's what that's about. Right? And like I said, you may be influenced to take the path that everybody else is going. There is such a thing as peer pressure. But that's not really the topic. I'm talking about the narrow path, your path. The path that's meant for you. Or even just the path that you cut out on your own way. There's this video game that I played when I was younger, Soul Calibur 2. It's a fighting game when all the characters got their own signature weapon. You know what I mean? And each of these weapons, they have, like, I don't want to say a personality or anything like that, but the swords, they more or less have a soul of their own. They don't have a mind, they have a soul of their own. And their soul is connected. That soul is connected to the sword. The sword has a soul, and that soul is connected to the soul of the wielder. So it's like two souls are bonding in battle, for lack of a better word, right? And the announcer, he has all these, like, interesting euphemisms that he says at the start of the battle, right? There's one that I really like, but I'm going to highlight the one that matters more. The first one I like is, they say, I can't remember what stage it is, but you pick your characters, and it goes into the stage. I think it might be in the solo player campaign. But it says, a soul desires a sword, and that sword desires truth. I think that's how it goes. A soul desires a sword, and that sword desires truth, right? But there's another one. And it said, the Almighty Ones have granted you a sword to cut your own path. Think about that. The Almighty Ones has granted you a sword to cut your own path. What does that mean? That means you are meant to cut your own way out, to cut your life as you see fit. The Almighty Ones have granted you a sword to cut your own path. Meaning, you do it yourself. You figure it out. No matter how many failures and tries that it takes. That's what that means. Nobody said that it would be easy. But it must be done. It must be done. I don't know how important it is for your name to be remembered, or your works or whatever. But ultimately, there are people who passed away long ago, but their names are still spoken about today. Pioneers, inventors. What I'm really telling you is, in your own life, you have to be your own pioneer. You have to pioneer your own path. You have to find your own discoveries. You can share them with the world, sure. But ultimately, nobody can tell you where to go or what to do, because their path is not yours. Their path is not yours. This is something that I struggle with understanding. Everyone has an idea or even an ideal about who you should be, what you should do, and even sometimes who you are. But none of that really matters when you realize that your life is your own. You are held accountable for everything that you do and or don't do. Why? Because it's your life. Everybody else has their own issues and their own problems to sort out. And 9 times out of 10, when people say those things, they just trying to help you. You don't gotta take everybody's advice. You don't gotta accept everybody's influence. But you do have to take your own path. You can postpone it. You can take detours. The choice is yours. But ultimately, we all have our own path, and that is the narrow path, the difficult path, the path that we must trailblaze, the path that the Almighty once gave us a sword to cut our own way. That's what this is about. And I apologize that I'm a little later today with my daily discussion. It's just that it was just one of those days where I was just tired, exhausted, staying up too late, But once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking the video, because I know you like it. You made it this far. Thank you for sharing the video, because I know you're not stingy. I know you're not selfish. You want other people to get this message too. And last but not least, subscribe, because you came back too many times not to push that button. Hope you're waking up every day with a plan and a purpose and a smile. And if you're not waking up with a smile, a plan, and a purpose, hey, at least you're waking up. That being said, Hawk Sensei, as you would do. Professor Hawk signing out. Class is dismissed.